Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. The Mario Sports series, for the most part, has always played it safe when it came to the tone and art style. Now one of the reasons, and by one I mean probably the only reason, is because big ol' Nintendo wants to keep their franchises family friendly for the most part. And while I do like the art styles of both Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush, there's just nothing out there quite like the Mario Strikers series. I mean, look at these sharp edges. No way this could be a tennis game. Even just looking at the box art, you can tell this series has style. The Mario Strikers series as a whole has been developed by Next Level Games, and they continue that tradition with Mario Strikers Battle League. And for those that don't know who Next Level Games are, they're the ones that made Luigi's Mansion 3, and that game looks incredible. So of course, they take those talents and transfer into a soccer game. And I love it. Mario Strikers Battle League is the latest entry to this beloved series. And Mario Strikers Charge just so happens to be my favorite Mario sports game, which is a pretty high bar. But does Battle League hold up to the rest of the Strikers franchise? Let's go ahead and get onto the field and find out. Graphically, this is the best looking Mario sports game, and not necessarily in terms of polygons. For me, the animations of each character is what bring this game to, really good looking to downright amazing. Like there's some little graphical gripes like the crowd looking whack and some of the textures on characters. But my goodness, the sheer amount of detail in these animations are just unreal. Next Level really went above and beyond for this game. Each character is stylized through their body language and just the way they react to situations. I almost forgot that Mario characters actually have personality. When Donkey Kong scores, he straight up just break dances. Luigi has his little awkward dance, and then there's Waluigi of course, and he's just straight up weird. I love it. I think Next Level did an incredible job at progressing the rough and edgy art style, especially when it comes to the Hyper Strikes. Now at first glance, I wasn't really sure, if this was the right style to progress from Mario Strikers Charged. Mario Strikers Charged had a very gritty, dirty, slimy kind of art style. And that sounds weird to say, but when you play the game and you see that opening intro, you know what I'm talking about. There's this grunge, working in a garage looking kind of game that Mario Strikers Charged is. Whereas this is a bit cleaner, a bit colorful, which I really enjoy. And that is also shown through the Hyper Strikes. I love how kinetic this style can get. Like when the screen breaks into panels, almost like you're watching an anime or reading a manga. And then of course, each character has their own way of kicking or throwing or sitting on the ball. It's just incredible. Each character just oozes style. Like this is the most character the Mario series is ever gonna get. And these characters have personalities that you just don't see in other Mario games, especially in the spin-off games. And especially in the main series, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe in Mario Odyssey, but even so, man, these characters are actual characters. And I'm so glad to see this series back, just for that alone. Overall, the art style and animation are so good that I just want more characters just to see them in this style. Before you even get into a match, you must first gear up. The gear system in this game is a give or take. When you equip something with 2 points in strength, you must also lose 2 points somewhere else, like speed or technique. That way there's a nice balance and you're not just upping your stats and being overpowered. Some of the pieces of gear look pretty cool, and then there are others that don't.
Who you calling Pinhead?
I actually like how they did this system. You don't have to have gear, but it's great for customization for your characters. You can make Bowser super fast, or you can make Peach really strong. You basically just can customize your characters how you see fit. I just wish you can change the look and keep the same stats, so you can have a complete set with the stats that you want. Otherwise, you're just mix matching, and sometimes it can look cool, but other times, it looks okay. It's also a great incentive to keep playing the game. Each match you do earns you coins, so you can use those coins to shop for some more gear. Having anything to unlock in this game is great. I wish there was more things to unlock, like characters and stuff like that, but either way, I'm glad it's here. And I'm glad you can unlock it with in-game currency and not anything, microtransactions. Which I didn't expect at all from Nintendo, but I'm glad to still see that it's not here. But either way, I hope they add more gear in the future because I could really see the potential of really cool looking gear. Maybe even having some of them be like cool themes, like futuristic themes and ancient armor or something. I don't know. They could go wacky with it. The actual core gameplay of Mario Strikers Battle League is pretty fantastic. I think it does a great job at staying to the series' roots while also adding a ton of new features that probably should have been there from the very beginning, like the ability to dodge. This adds to your mobility with or without the ball, and when Donkey Kong won't stop hitting you, you can just dodge out of the way. Items also make a comeback in the form of question mark blocks. I don't exactly remember how they were implemented in stuff like Mario Strikers Charged, the game before Battle League. But in Battle League, it works a little bit different. You see, if it's the rainbow question mark blocks, everyone has a chance of getting it. It's free for all, baby. But if it's a team color, only that team can get that item. These team colored items show up when you hit an opponent when they don't have the ball. It's a way of punishing you for being too violent, and I kinda love it. It makes for a great incentive not to just knock people around all the time. The items you can get are pretty standard. You got your bananas, bombs, stars, and green and red shells. The core moveset is still solid enough, like the ability to shoot, pass, tackle, etc. But in order to step up your level, you have to incorporate these newly added moves to your arsenal. The ability to charge your tackle is another game changer, because some opponents can't be taken down unless you charge up, especially if the opponent is like Bowser or Donkey Kong and they're wearing all this gear. You need to charge up your tackle in order to take them down, especially if you're like Toad, which weighs probably about 50 pounds. With the charge tackle, you can also use it on your teammates to push them closer to the ball or to wreck other players. To be honest though, this one's really hard to pull off. And because of that, I always forget to use it. In Mario Strikers Charged, there was a mechanic where the ball would charge up after each pass. Battle League, on the other hand, has a different mechanic where instead of charging the ball through passing, it actually depends on the timing of your button presses. For example, if you pass to yourself and press the button at the right time, then the ball will be in a charged state, in which you can do a powered up shot. The same can be done when you push the shoot button at the right time. It takes some getting used to, but eventually this becomes really fun to pull off. Don't get me wrong, I love the old mechanic in Charge, but this is a nice middle ground. There are also some other advanced moves like cancels and dashing, but come on, let's just go ahead and talk about the hyper strikes. There's a glowing orb that falls on the field, and if you manage to get it, you will have about 20 seconds to attempt a hyper strike. This is a devastating, stylistic shot that has the potential to nab you 2 points instead of 1. That is, if you manage to make it through the goalie. Basically, the better you do in this little mini game that they give you, the better your chances are at nabbing those points. But be careful, because you can still get hit in this state. Honestly, when you're facing really good players or CPUs, it's really hard to pull off a hyper strike. But man, if you do, it's so cool looking. Having the Mario characters go anime is just so awesome. I never get tired of it. So yeah, the actual gameplay is fantastic. Tight controls with a plethora of moves you can pull off makes this one of the best sports games on the Switch. While the gameplay is great, the content provided in this game is a bit lacking, to say the least. In terms of modes, we got 3 modes essentially. You got Quick Battle, which is basically the standard mode where you can either play local multiplayer or online, or even with a CPU, in a standard match. You can customize some of the settings like alter the item or hyper strike skills. You can even change it to either day or night, which is really nice. Next, you got Cup Battles, which is your standard single player mode. However, like the previous games, this mode isn't much to write home about. It's kind of cool that it's a tournament mode, but it's definitely lacking an extra flair. I don't know, man. I felt the same way about Mario Strikers Charge. Except with that game, there was unlockable characters, which was a great incentive to keep playing the mode. In Battle League, though, you earn coins for new gear, which is neat, but nothing too substantial. There is another reward you get, but I'll let you figure that out for yourself. The last mode you can access is Strikers Club. You can make your own club with some friends or random people and participate in matches together. The best part is customizing your side of the field and the jerseys on the characters. The mode as a whole is kind of meh right now because we're not really in a season right now, or at least at the time of this recording. There will be seasons that come and go that the whole club can be a part of, and I'm assuming with those seasons we might get some pretty cool rewards. I'm not entirely sure, but seeing how this game mostly focuses on the online aspect, you can kind of guess that there's going to be some cool, unique rewards in these seasons. Maybe even new characters, who knows? In fact, a season should be going on around the time this video is released, so we'll see. Overall, the gameplay, the core mechanics in this game is a blast. They've nailed the core gameplay, making it a satisfying, insanely fun soccer game. The content surrounding the game, in terms of like different fields you can get, or, the character roster, that stuff is lacking, and it's hard to ignore that. The music of the Mario Strikers series has always been top tier, at least for the character themes. In Strikers Charge, you got Luigi's iconic theme, the opening theme. Hearing rock music in a Mario game is such a refreshing change of pace, especially when Battle League remixed some of the pre-existing Mario songs into amazing rock songs. Not gonna lie, it was pretty weird at first hearing new Super Mario Bros. Music remixed into a rock genre, but after you hear it the first time, you never want to go back to the original. I mean, just listen to this. Don't get me started on other ones. Maybe eventually we'll do a ranking of these songs because these are just excellent. Unfortunately for me personally, when I'm actually playing the game, I don't hear the music that well with everything going on. It might just be me, but when I do hear the music, it's often generic rock. But when a familiar song does arise and I hear it, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. Maybe I just need to go in the settings and fiddle around with the music and all that. I don't know, it might just be me, but it's something to point out. That said, these remixes do exist, and they are fantastic. I've waited years for Mario Strikers Battle League. I honestly thought Nintendo was just if they were gonna bring back Mario Strikers in any capacity, they would just bring it back and make it a bland, boring, just standard Mario sports game. But they didn't. They brought it back, and they brought it back in the most stylistic way possible. The character animations alone are just some of the best Mario animations out there, really. Each character is just so expressive and makes me want to see more Mario characters, in this style, expressed in this way. And of course, Nintendo already announced that there's going to be free content in terms of like characters and stuff available eventually. I mean, that's good to know. I wish that stuff was already here, but in terms of like unlocking characters, I love unlocking characters. I will be honest though, I'm a little disappointed that you can't unlock characters in this game. I wish you can unlock at least one or two characters. That'd be nice. But at least there is free content to come. And I'm sure there's going to be paid DLC along the way too. Because honestly, even with, the lack of characters in the roster or, stages that you can pick, and speaking of like fields that you can pick, like there's not a lot. And one of the big, points about this game was, you can, create your side of the field and the opponent can create their side of the field and, combine them together. But the weird thing is, and this might just be a me thing, but I honestly like it when the two halves are the same stage. In fact, I think, and I'm not too sure on this, but I think when you combine the two stages together and, it's the same stage, you get that cool remixed Mario music. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And if that is the case, yeah, I would rather play on on just like a normal field rather than a, mismatched. I get what they're going for. I get it. You customize your side of the field and this, combine it, great. That's cool. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just lame in that way, but I really like the old traditional, have one theme for each field and have that, cool, unique music there. So I started this thing with Nintendo Switch Sports, where, because it was like a sports, / party game, I didn't give it a number score, and I think I'm going to transfer that over to Mario Strikers. Because it's so focused on the online, not all the content's going to be there, it's going to progressively get more and more content. I feel like it's hard to give this a number score, just like Nintendo Switch Sports. So with that said, I'm going to give this game a thumbs up with a missing Diddy Kong poster. Let me know down below what your thoughts on the game are. Is the lack of characters in the roster bother you? It is a small roster, but each character is so well, executed with their animations and stuff, which has me think, maybe that's why the roster is so small. That or they're keeping the characters to themselves until seasons start, rolling around and stuff. Either way, I would like to see a little bit more characters here. But again, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless.